today I'm going to review one camera housing, and I've been thinking about these housings for a while since I saw one guy coming out of the dive in Tulamben with it. Most probably you've seen people going in the water with some phone pouches and taking photos, and that's one of the options during the holidays how you can get some memories. From my internet scrolling, I understood there are three categories of the cases. So the one is this cheap one I mentioned, then there is a middle class with a price range from $50 to $150, and then there is a high class cases with the vacuum pumps and indicators for sealing and softwares for this particular case, and the high class is $150 to $500 US. There was a moment when I almost bought one, but then one of our customers who had one of these high-end cases flooded it. You know, in a phone there is everything, contact, also your payment cards, and it's not really pleasant experience when you have to deal with this. Finally he got everything back to work, but there was a lot of stress for a couple of days while he was keeping his phone into the rice. And now when one of our friends left his iPhone case in the shop with full access to it, I got the chance to review it. Not saying it's a top brand, but definitely it's good enough to understand its working principles, how good is the access to all the functions of the camera. That's the task for me today. I'm gonna explain to myself and also for you, is it good investment and do you really need one of these? So now let's review camera housing a little bit closer. So I will open it first. You pull this one towards yourself, and then you just twist as on most of the underwater camera housings. There's nothing really much inside. Inside there is all the software and camera housing communication, or basically creating the Bluetooth, happens with this two AAA batteries. So when you put it in, so the green lights start blinking. Cover on the top. So what do we have on the other side? This one is pressure sensor. As it's written on there, it's 80 meters or 263 feet. So you can bring this housing down to 80 meters or 263 feet of the depth. The name of this brand is Weefine. So the first thing you do, tap on your browser, you tap in Weefine, search, click on it. So it's opening the camera's website, then you scroll down, then you find your housing, choose your housing. So then I'm scrolling down to the QR code. You scan it with your phone, or you just press and hold, and that brings you, in my case, to the Apple Store where you can download it. You click on Bluetooth connection, and it's connecting your phone to the housing, and it starts showing here on the side the modes. Let's start from the top to the bottom, and the first setting here on the top is full screen. If I click it, it's full screen. Click it again, it's smaller screen. I would recommend to use the smaller one. If I put the full screen, and when the door is closed, see, I cannot see part of the screen. So it's better when it's on a smaller screen. So when I close it, so then it's exactly with all the settings, with everything, it's visible. That's exactly what your camera will film. Next is the modes. So we click on it. Before you close the door of housing, first click on the modes, because this is actually granting the access to the photo library, but it will be really annoying when the door is already closed. You created the vacuum inside this housing, and then this notification shows up. When I press on a mode button, so then first of all it's a photo mode, then there is a video mode, and finally it's showing what you've been shooting. I haven't done any shots at the moment. Next button is a focal, means you can zoom in and out with the help of these two buttons, zoom plus, zoom minus. Next is menu, and the menu giving you some options to play around your settings. With the help of arrow buttons I can navigate inside these settings. And as the last on the list There are filters, they're offering you 4 different filters. I stayed with the first one. What I just reviewed was the photo settings. When I'm moving to the video, so then I have different settings. So when I click on a menu, if I press OK, so that gives me a little bit more settings. Another important thing, where to place your phone inside this housing. When I close the door, all the setting menu is partially covered by the housing's door. So then you have to make sure your camera is not like in this position or this position, but it is parallel to the bezels of the housing. And as you can see, there is a red indicator at the moment. So please don't go in the water if there is a red indicator on. Put this cover on, red at the moment, and it starts blinking between green and red. When the ceiling is good, it becomes green. Now it means I'm good to go into the water. And now let's check out what we got from underwater. Our friend tried to do also some macro shooting, but not really successful. Basically, it's the same like any action camera where you need about 12 centimeters to the object to get it in a focus. As a good thing, I see that you have phone anyways. So all you need now is a housing, and especially if your holidays is with some water activities and you would like to film some diving or snorkeling, then all you need is a housing. Download the app, put a phone into the housing, and you're good to go. As a cons, it's pretty complex process to get the phone into the housing, and remember, don't forget to switch on app before you put it inside the housing. Another thing, you always need to carry also the vacuum pump with you, because otherwise you cannot seal it. So you have to take all the box or bag or case of this camera with you, and yeah, it takes a lot of space. Another con for me is that housing is pretty big comparing to any action camera, pretty bulky during the dive. You have to be really careful because the surfaces of the glass on this housing is pretty big and it's so easy to scratch them. Another thing I didn't like is you don't have full access to camera settings. You cannot use all the potential of the camera. It's pretty limited what you can do. Only the access to the basic, pro or Apple mode. Well, in Apple mode I don't have access to the camera. Most probably I have to first do some presetting of the settings of the camera, switch between cinematic or slow motion on iPhone at least. You have access to the basic video or photo mode. So the final conclusion from me would be I would buy action camera because first of all it's smaller, and if you compare the price and the risks, if you flood the housing for the action camera is anyway sealed and nothing will happen to it. while your iPhone is sealed only to some particular pressure and amount of the water. And because mostly I'm diving in a salt water, it can damage my phone a lot. So if we're comparing the price, I can get the Action camera for about $600 including the housing. And the most important thing why I would buy Action camera instead of housing for my iPhone is video quality. The first field of view on iPhone, I was not able to zoom out. It was really close to the object. I had to move from the object really far away, while with my Action camera I can be pretty close and get all field of view. All the Action cameras been evolved so much. They have temperature sensors, they have artificial intelligence which is editing your videos straight out of the camera. So I don't see the point to invest in the housing of the iPhone when I can just simply buy a good Action camera. That was my thoughts about this housing, and I hope you enjoyed and it will help you to decide what to do in the future. Alright, thank you very much for watching this video. Subscribe and see you in the next one. Bye.